All right. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Mr. Daniel Cross. I'm going to see if I can get the title right because you should be very proud of this. Daniel Cross, Mayor Pro-Tem, City of Hudson Oaks, Texas.
That's it?
How long we been Mayor Pro-Tem?
Oh, that's a good question.
What was the... you were elected, was it 2022?
22 sounds right. 22 sounds right.
2022. And how long are the terms?
2 years.
2-year terms?
No, 1 year. We reappoint Mayor Pro Tem each year.
Oh, okay. So you're elected, you're a councilman.
Yes.
City of Hudson Oaks. But every year you guys get together and you...
Reappoint, redetermine who's...
Okay. So how many times have you been appointed Mayor Pro Tem?
2 times since, well, I guess 3 times total.
3 times total?
Three
Okay.
times.
No bribes needed. I mean, you earned it. Through quality, through...
they
diligence.
They keep asking, so I'm happy to keep answering the call.
Happy to answer the call. Well, no, service is great, Daniel. We appreciate you doing that. We've known you. I think the first time we met was, I think you might have been a single man. Parker County Brewing Company, circa, you might not have been.
I was not single.
2017.
What was the day Parker County Brewing Company opened?
27. So we were open.
That was the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was the day I met Brian.
Ah.
Very first time.
Really? Interesting.
Supporting our local brewery.
Supporting the local brewery. I love it. Yeah, and you and your wife. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and family life? Yeah, I don't want to introduce everybody.
Sure. Well, my wife and I, man, there's a couple of ways we know each other. So I'm not going to get into all of them, but suffice it to say we've had different ways in and out of each other's lives since probably middle school, high school age.
Okay.
I just caught each other at the right time back in town post college. And
you knew each other in high school?
Yeah.
Ah.
Grew up going to the same church. We didn't go to the same high school.
Okay.
But knew some of the same people and
church camp.
And yep. And some same family.
Where's
friends.
the church camp? Do we remember? Where's the church? Do we know the church?
It was
camp?
Vacation Bible Camp. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Vacation Bible Camp.
You're joking, but that really happened.
Okay, all right. Vacation Bible
She didn't
camp.
believe me either, but my mom vouched. She was like, no, he had a crush on you. Just, okay.
Real?
I guess I
Okay.
have to believe in you.
This is fate.
Yeah.
This is
I
the
can't
fate.
believe I'm talking about this.
No,
She's
that's
gonna
good.
love that.
Okay, nope. Vacation Bible Camp. We met. All right.
But no, we, I grew up out here. She actually grew up in Benbrook.
Okay.
So not too far away. But we kind of determined after we got together and got married, we lived in Fort Worth for a little bit, that we wanted to get back out here. So, we found a spot, and I think we moved back out here in 2017 and been going strong.
So when
since.
did you get married? I said you were single, but you weren't. So you got married in...
I got married in 2015. I have my 10-year anniversary's coming up this
Gotcha.
year.
Oh, wow. That's a good year.
It is a good one.
10 years. You know that the stats are not in your favor. So you are beating the stats. You are doing well. It's that 7 to 10 year. That's the scary point. So be nice for the next few months.
I was going to say, I wish I could say I don't ever annoy her. That's
Yeah.
the trick, but no, I definitely annoy her.
Awesome. So did I hear you say raised here? So
Yes.
you were local, or?
Yes. So I grew up in a little unincorporated strip between Hudson Oaks and Willow Park.
Okay.
That still exists. The neighborhood's still there. Still unincorporated.
Between
then,
Hudson Oaks and Willow Park?
Do you know where the lighting store is?
Yeah, absolutely.
So immediately east of that
is unincorporated.
is Bluebonnet Hill, I think is what the little sign on the service road is.
That's where you grew up?
But that's where I grew up. House back there on the hill. So I lived there from the time I was born until...
How'd you get to your house? I mean, the access road and then turn.
And for the longest time, the access road was two-way.
I do remember the access
and
road.
So they took that away.
That one in Hudson Oaks, for those listening, the one before HEB, keep coming, before HEB, keep coming, and that was two-way. You'd pass David Stove Shop.
Yeah, well, they had the big horse race track that was going to compete with, Lone Star Park out in Grand Prairie. And
there's a crazy story about that, too.
They had a good run. But
yeah, that one was, they were told that they were going to be the only one, and that, what's the horse racing association, NYRA or NYSA or whatever it is, they would not issue another North Texas for a decade or for 15 years. There was a deal, and
They went back.
They went back on that deal. So the owners, investors, and the folks that built that track there in Willow Park, which is now the location of where the Wilks have all their stuff, and they've done some homage and honor back to the horse race track. That's been great. That the horse track they kind of got a raw deal in the whole thing, and then it's hard to compete with Lone Star Park.
Yeah.
I mean, still never been though. I've never been to Lone Star Park. Okay, so you're born and raised here. You're here. You're there in between Willow Park, Hudson Oaks.
And then in 5th grade we moved into Willow Park proper, actually up behind the horse race track. In the
Okay,
neighborhood up in
Daniel, where'd you go to school?
I went to Nolan High School.
Oh, that's
the
my
other side of
Catholic
Fort Worth.
friend. There you go. So you went to that, but not elementary.
No, elementary I went to Holy Family Catholic School,
Okay.
west side of Fort Worth.
West side of Fort Worth, Holy Family, and then Nolan. How'd you like Nolan?
I liked it fine.
We've been driving by it for years. It always looks great. We always thought if we were going to
They
send
keep
our kid-
adding on and growing. I mean, not unlike Parker County. You
Yeah.
leave for a little bit and you come back. It's like, man, everything's changed.
Nice. All right, so you met your wife, and now we have a whole brood. I mean, you are a family
I've got
man, like
three
myself.
little girls.
Tell me about that. How many?
Yours aren't so little anymore. Yours are all grown up. No, I've got 3 girls. They are amazing and smart and getting smarter, and sometimes it feels like too smart. But
What's the oldest? What's the youngest? We don't got to go into too much detail.
so oldest will turn 6 later this year, and the youngest turned 2 a few
Okay.
weeks ago.
So you're going to like that.
One in between.
No, you're going to like that. So we had, and of course, if my kids watch it, I love this, but we had 2 right away, thought the family was set. They're like 1.5 years apart. I don't know how all the gestation works, and I don't even know that was but it was like
I
one.
got a chart I can show you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but it worked. Yes, probably based on the chart. I'll find it. And they were great, and they had a pretty good relationship. Everything was good between the 2 girls. They fought a little bit, but they were friends. It was great. And then, didn't think the family was going to grow anymore, and then accident it did. And we love it. It's a great surprise. It is a blessing. But as my wife and I age, we're like, this brings up different challenges that we didn't thought of. Our middle child, which was our youngest, is going off to college this year, going off to Texas A&M.
Whoop.
Yep, whoop. Oh, I can't say that right. I'm not. Okay.
We'll
Is that
accept-
yours?
we'll accept your
Is that
support.
yours, A&M?
Oh, yeah.
Morgan, Texas A&M grad. So, but we have, I'm 47. When she gets, I'm almost 48. By the time my youngest goes to college, I'll be like 54. And have already like launched these 2 into the world. And it's great, and it's a blessing, and she's going to keep us young, and all these things are going to be wonderful. But I think you're going to enjoy having a nuclear family. That's they're all kind of the same-ish, and trust me, it might not feel like they're the same now. They're all the same compared to 9-year gaps or 10-year gaps, and I think you're going to enjoy that a lot. And there will be a transition as they age, and the last one moves on, and you'll be able, unless we're having more.
Not currently in the plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had another, and of course it doesn't matter if it's a girl or a boy, we would love them both equally. But if you had another, you got 3 girls, do you have that desire, that longing for a son?
I think
It's a tough question.
it is a tough question because I love my girls. I love having girls. I've adopted the girl dad role well, and they've softened my heart in all the right ways that it needed to be softened. But I'd be lying if I said, I wouldn't love to have a relationship with a son the way I get to have a relationship with these girls, just because that's another experience. That's another part of it that would just be different and would be fun, and I would enjoy it.
I tell my youngest all the time I wish she was a boy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love being the girl dad, too. You're absolutely right. Everything you just said so correctly and sensitively and politically, I would echo. Yeah, I love having the girls, and if we were to have had another one, and it was another girl, it would have been also awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something different. Those folks out there that have a son, I don't really know what that's like. And
We were surprised every time, too. We didn't find out what we were having until day of.
No.
Yeah, all three.
Was that your idea or hers?
It was our idea. I mean, you kind of have to decide that together. That's a hard one for one person to decide on. But no, it was a lot of fun because, I mean, one, I don't know, in the information age with the internet and everything you want to know one search away, it was like it's one of the few surprises left.
I agree. That's a good point. I like what you just said.
We got to do that. And then, I got to, just like in the movies, go out and tell my family, it's a girl. And then it's a girl.
Oh,
and
you got to go out of like the
a
waiting
girl,
room or the
yes.
delivery room
Yes.
and into the waiting room and say, it's a girl. That
3
is.
times.
That's funny you say that. It's just like the movies. That's right.
But
Like
you don't-
back in
yeah,
the day,
you don't do that anymore.
the guy would go out and be like, I got a son. And everyone would cheer, I got a girl.
So we thought it was a lot of fun. And it's really funny. The reactions you get go very polarized one way or the other. It's either, oh, I love that. We did that too. That was so much fun. Or you get this look of disgust like, why would you do that?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you are fairly egocentric, you could still. I think that's the folks that might say you got to know ahead of time. You got to know ahead of time. I want to plan the room. I want to plan this. I want to plan that. They're just thinking about anyway. But you could make the argument. You probably had a blast with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. You had a good time, not knowing, and you enjoyed it.
Yeah. I got tasked with building a crib. Didn't change the crib. It's the same crib.
Same crib.
Whether it was a boy or a girl.
Well, I think there is a color, like you get like soft pastel green, and that's the color. The soft, because we've watched different shows on nanny shows, and it's like the soft pastel green is as close to unisex as one.
I just said, whenever people would ask me, what are you going to do? I go, we're going to buy white onesies.
There
That's what it's going to be. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you had baby showers and everything, but everyone just gave you
Generic stuff.
diapers and white
diapers.
ones and diapers.
Stuff I know I'm going to need.
Yes. Can you believe this? I was talking to my mom the other day. She said like the greatest gift ever. She's a baby boomer. I was born in mid-late 70s, 77. She said the greatest gift ever was diaper service. Because the disposable diaper was not really a household thing as of yet. And my oldest brother's 1969, my sister's like 73, I'm 77. So by me, I think it was a little bit closer to it. But then, like she said, when she first born, 1969, the baby shower, she got a diaper service. And that was like, oh, like, please give me a diaper service. Please give me the diaper service. Yes, that was the big gift. And that's a microcosm analogy of like, how much stuff has changed so much, and I don't think we even realize like how, I don't want to say bad it was, because that was great and it was wonderful, but like things are so good right now with like conveniences, and the amount of time we have to spend on housework and stuff is just even. I mean, how old? I just thought of this now. How old is the power drill? I mean, was everything hand drilled up until
The power drill was a product of NASA. They needed.
Okay, so I'm assuming
So that'd be
60s or
probably
70s.
yeah.
So pre-60s and 70s, America was built on.
Cordless drill.
America was built on.
Well, so they had power drills that plugged into the wall.
Okay, so what was
That was
what do you think
cordless, really, was
there?
the switch.
No, where do you think the corded drill that wasn't 30s, 50s,
I was
40s?
going to say 40s, 50s, probably as a common household.
Probably
thing.
World War II we had them.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not even 100. That's 70, 80 years ago. The previous everything that was built, Notre Dame, the cathedral, bridges were built. This is how you're screwing stuff in, or a mechanism maybe. I don't know. We're going off on a tangent,
It's okay.
but
They're good.
yeah, they are, and that's good. I was just wondering the ease of stuff. We're talking about the diapers, yeah. All right, let's bring it back. So I do want to talk, Daniel. One of the reasons I have you on here, Mayor Pro-Tem is a big honor that your peers, selected you for that, and you were elected. You had told me off camera, I think you said elections not going to happen because there was no opponent. So you are Councilman Hudson Oaks until...
I got another 2 years.
Another 2 years. That's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And for a lot of us that might be Weatherford folks who are kind of Hudson Oaks folks, the boundaries put us... I always say, actually Patrick Lawler used to say this too, he's like, you want to know if you're Weatherford or Hudson Oaks, which Walmart do you go to? And that was the line. I was like, well, which Walmart do you go to? Well, I go to the Hudson Oaks one. Well, there you go. You're not as Weatherford as you think. You're more Hudson Oaks. And I was like, no, I'm Weatherford. My kids go to Weatherford. We're not talking about the schools. We love the schools. Okay. Which Walmart do you go to?
Yeah. They have Hudson Oaks sweatshirts for sale at the Walmart now.
No
They're doing
way.
a lot of local branded stuff. I was just happy to see a Hudson Oaks sweatshirt.
I've never
in a
seen
Walmart.
that. Just back in like the men's
Just on an end
attire.
cap, yeah, on the way back there. I need to go buy one.
I might have to buy one. I still miss the boat. I'm a big New York Giants fan. I'm from New York. There was our punter for like 8 years was Stephen or Billy Weatherford. Number 5, Weatherford. And I'm like a Giants fan. I've been living in Weatherford for 20 years. Why didn't I buy that jersey? Like, that's a Giants Weatherford. And it's not something crazy I created, and I didn't buy it. So, yes, you need to buy the Hudson.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mayor Pro-Tem, how are you enjoying it so far?
I love it. When my wife and I moved back here, like I said, a little bit of system shock from having lived here when I was a teenager, coming back and seeing all the growth. We decided let's go to a council meeting. Let's see what's going on since there's so much going on. So that was kind of how it all started. Once you kind of get your feet wet and hear what's going on and see what's going on, one of the funniest things is you get bombarded after the council meeting your first time going by the council members or the city administrator, and everybody wants to know what are you mad about? What have we done to upset you? Because
so often folks don't go.
We don't see a lot of turnout at those meetings, and in some ways we take that as a job well done. There'd be folks here if they were upset about something. So that works well for us in terms of feedback. But you do get folks every so often that just want to be a little more involved, and we'll see them show up, here every now and again. And that's how it started for my wife and I. And then, once there was a vacancy when Judge Dean moved up to run for the county judge position. We had a council member who was then moved up to the mayor position, which left a seat open. And so they were having to make an appointment out of cycle since it was between election cycles. And I threw my hat in the ring among a few other folks. And ultimately, the council chose me to fill that interim space. And the people have chosen me since, both by election. I've had to run, and by not drawing opponents.
No, not drawing opponents is a big deal. So I was on the school board 2013. I was elected 3-year terms. 2016, my second time, and I'm going to say this to kind of honor the fact that nobody ran against you. There were 3 folks up for re-election. One of my co-board members had 2 or 3 opponents. The other one had 2 opponents. I had none.
It's saying something.
So there's something there, and I felt honored. I felt good. I remember getting the call. The biggest feeling I had was relief that I didn't have to buy signs and campaign, which I would gladly do. That was what I signed up for. But oh boy, yeah, it was a big savings for the wallet and for the time and the effort and the energy. But it is a big honor too. So yeah, you should be absolutely part of that. So that was kind of your calling. You just decided to go to one of the council meetings, see what it was about. You got selected. All right. What is, for those of us who have never served, for those folks listening, any not interesting stories, but I mean, what's been some of the challenges or the hurdles, or what is it like being on council?
There's a lot of people that I don't want to say surprised, but they ask, is it like Parks and Rec this, or is it like Parks and Rec that? I'm like, there are some ways it is very, very much like Parks and Rec, and some ways it's not. I think some of the bigger challenges we face are just being a smaller town on the outskirts of one of the biggest, metropolitan metroplex areas in the country. And so kind of, having to carve your path out and make yourself known and brand yourself in a way that still gets you the attention you want to get from, prospective residents and prospective businesses that might want to come here. And so, one of the ways we work with that challenge is through, interlocal partnerships and, working with Willow Park has been fantastic, getting both water supply into our cities and now dealing with wastewater. And it's been really great seeing, the cities working together to those ends.
HEB's doing good?
HEB's doing good. One of their better performing stores consistently.
How's it feel having Costco right there, but darn it, they're not Hudson Oaks. They're what? Like, it's right there on the cusp.
It's.
I'm kind of joking. I know you guys don't care,
in terms of my wife and I's ability to run to Costco.
Yes.
It's funny. We used to have a Sam's membership because when we lived in Fort Worth, that's the one that was closer.
Yeah.
And we moved out here, and it's like, well, neither of them were close anymore, so we switched to Costco, and they followed us out first. So
Yep, that was exactly what we did when we moved down here about 25 years ago. Sam's Club membership. Brian Irving is Sam's Club is the one we went to. And we didn't do the Costco one. Didn't ever even, I got to be honest, 2002, 2003 when we moved down here, I don't think I had ever even heard of Costco. But we knew Sam's Club. And then up north we have something called BJ's Wholesale Club. BJ's. So we bought the Sam's Club one. But then when we went into Costco and we saw the $1.50 hot dog and soda, which is still around, we were like, oh boy, we were excited about that. So, well, that's pretty good. All right, so anything exciting, new? I've had other councilmen, mayors, county judge, Pat Dean was interviewed here. There's some things you can't share or can't say. There's private stuff coming, but what are you most excited about with Hudson Oaks here in the future? Something coming up in the next few months? I mean, this is all public, but
yeah.
What are you excited about?
Well, there's, a couple things that, folks ask for, restaurants, and so you'll continue to see stuff popping up as things are getting developed over there on the service road. But another thing people have been asking for is park updates. And so I do want to make sure everyone knows that, we're working on the parks and that we're actually taking feedback right now. You can find QR codes on the,
I think those texts or emails are
yes,
going out, right? Some of my neighbors have gotten, the Gene Voiles.
Yep.
Tell me about a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we're basically just taking feedback from folks who are users of the park. You don't have to be a Hudson Oaks resident. If you are someone who uses that park, there's flyers posted around the park as well. We want that feedback. And there's a QR code there that will take you to the survey and get feedback for what you want to see out of the park, because we're in this, in the throes of, redoing the master plan for this park. And, EST3 is they're moving a fire station down to that area. And we're just going to see a lot of...
Tell me about that. Daniel, I should know more about this. Where's the ESD3 going?
So it will be coming in.
It's on the Gene Voiles loop there?
Yeah, basically on the loop around
on the
park.
side, the Boo Ray's closer side, or the back side by the apartments?
Boo Ray's closer
Okay,
side.
somewhere in there, it'll be on the opposite side. All right, that's exciting.
Yeah, long time coming, and that's been another great thing to have local leadership working together to get through all that and figure out the best way to move forward with it.
And then a big events. What do we got? Hudson Oaks.
Booming Fourth.
Booming Fourth
Can't
is
forget
coming
Booming
up.
Fourth.
God, Sterling got so mad at me when we were with Bourbon and Brand. We had a tent and we were doing some fun stuff there, and I kept calling it Booming in the Park. And he wasn't mad. I'm joking. Sterling's a great guy, super nice, very professional. But every time I said Booming in the Park, I must have done it 5 times throughout the day, and he's like, "That's Spark in the Park. We're booming Fourth." Oh, booming in the Fourth. No, it's Spark in the Park. We're booming Fourth. Booming Fourth. Sorry. Okay, sorry. So I felt so bad to this day. As soon as you say that, I remembered I felt bad because they were so nice and they opened the doors and let us set up a vendor tent. And I was like, I kept calling it Booming in the Park. And so anyway.
That's funny.
Yeah, so Booming Fourth.
Booming Fourth is coming up, and it's kind of...
Can I make a plea?
Sure.
Man, Craft and Cork was so much fun.
I agree.
Craft and Cork
I loved Craft.
was so much fun. The first year we didn't have it, I had so many people text me, call me. I mean, maybe close to 100. I don't want to exaggerate and say hundreds, but probably had 70 to 85 people. They're like, it's August, it's September. We haven't heard anything about Craft and Cork. Have you heard anything? What's going on? I was like, I don't think they're doing it this year.
COVID really changed the landscape for the food and drink vendors. And I'm not going to say never, but it became harder to pull a event together of the quality we were used to.
Well, that first year with Craft and Cork, you guys were awesome in the attempt. I remember this. It was the glasses, but they were delivered to the different restaurants, and So I love the ingenuity, the innovation of trying to do some kind of virtual walking thing,
Yep.
but I doubt it was wildly successful. It was a good faith effort, and I loved that. I really do. I say that sincerely. You know, when life gives you lemons, you try to make lemonade. But and then the next year there was a craft and cork, and it was like 2021. If 2020 we didn't do it, fall 2020, I think we did it in 2021. Thought it was great. It was great. And then 2022 was a no, 23, 24.
No, it was a bummer.
I'm going to insert sad music in.
I mourn the loss as well. But I mean, I think that's one thing we're always trying to keep the pulse on is we like to, you know, kind of have 4 big events a year. And that
So
was
what do
our
we got?
big fall event. And so now we're kind of looking to kind of.
Oh, so
come
we're
back.
looking to do something else.
We're
That's
looking to
fun.
do something
So
else.
Craft and Cork will mourn the loss. But we got Boom and Fourth. We got the Easter egg hunt. And then, of course, the Christmas lights are great. Everyone loves that. So we're looking for something pumpkin patchy
Something,
with
I mean-
beer, or something fall leaves, maybe add beer, or maybe like, you know, something, you know, that
Common theme here.
cool, you know, cooler weathers coming with beer.
With beer.
You know, if there's something, if something happens, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But all right, so let's kind of finish up. Let's talk a little family. We did that in the beginning, but I really want to dive real deeper here, Daniel. As a girl dad, you know, this video will live on kind of forever. What are you, you know, is this has changed your life a little bit, or I mean, how are we?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's made me more intentional about, I mean, everything in a lot of ways. But when you want to still be selfish with your time, sometimes, you know, like you still have hobbies you like, and, you know, I've got my time out in the wood shop, and I love doing stuff out there. But finding ways to include them in those things instead of just saying, "Oh, I don't have time for that anymore," or, you know, I you know, taking it to an extreme. Instead, I, you know, try to find somewhere in the middle that I can bring them in on it. But no, to really answer that question, you know, how does it change you? It's so corny, but it's a song lyric that I just started hearing differently after having kids. Again, this is super corny. I hate
Okay.
that I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. I'm
Okay,
committed now.
go all in.
Cat Stevens.
Oh, well, don't you don't want to make. There's not a good guy on the planet that doesn't cry to that. So that's
Take your time.
yep.
Think a lot. Think of everything you've got. For you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. And it just puts some perspective on me and the fleeting nature of dreams and children, and how quickly they're told to go live real life, and how all that goes away, and what can I do to allow them to hold on to their dreams as long as I can.
Have you ever seen any of the? It's what you're saying is kind of triggering some of the rabbit holes I've gone down as my girls have gotten older. And there's data out there of like how many minutes, like in a day, in a week, in a month, you actually like get to spend with them
it's
as
scary.
children, and it's scarily, I think that's the word, scarily small. And it's like, no. They live in my house. They bug me. They pester me. They're there every day. I'd say I spend 7 hours a day. Wait, what does the data say? 37 minutes a day is the average. That doesn't seem right. I mean, I might be right. You know, how much quality time? Wow, okay. You know, and it's just really, you're right.
Even scary. It says, you know, by the time they leave for college, you've spent 90% of the time you'll ever spend with them. That one scares me.
Yeah. You really better have a good relationship with your wife, because that's your partner. That's your free time from now on. Yeah. No, Daniel, I can just, you know, tell in your voice and stuff, you got a love and appreciation for your family, for your wife, your community, your town. You've stepped up, you've served. You know, these are all genuine things about you, and that's why I asked you to be on. So I appreciate it. And any closing words to the wife and family?
I love you, and thank you for all the support. Couldn't do any of it without you.
Love it. Daniel Cross.